astrology.com. For all those people catching me for the first time, welcome to my channel where I give you an exclusive brand of astrology, which is a combination and a syncretism of all the systems. So let us break down the upcoming Pisces lunation on the 13th of March. 13th of March. And I'm going to be quite detailed about this. I'm going to talk a bit about tropical astrology, a bit about esoteric astrology, also a bit about Vedic astrology, like I always do. And I intend to end the update with tarot reading for all the 12 signs. So Pisces is actually one of my favorite signs. It is the 12th sign of the zodiac, the 12th sign of the zodiac. It's mutable water, and I have my moon and my Ketu in Pisces, in tropical Pisces. So it is a sort of, feeling of dealing with something very familiar to me as I talk about this lunation. As I talk about this dreamy, imaginative, mutable energy that Pisces brings to the table, right? So it is happening, of course, 13th of March, right? Depending on your time zone, you can check that out locally. And the word said, go forth into matter. Okay, the word being the Logos, the word being Brahman. Thank you. The word being Brahman, the word being the Logos. The word said, go forth into matter. This is the mantra of Pisces. Okay, now this is, of course, the 12th sign of the zodiac, as I've already stressed before. So it is the sort of the great culmination. Okay, when you think of something that is at the very end, and this is the 23rd degree, so it is the last decan of Pisces. So it is an energy of culmination, it's an energy of a purge, an ending, okay? Yet this purge embodies the Logos incarnate. That is why the word said, go forth into matter. According to esoteric astrology, Pisces is one of the signs of death, along with Aries and Scorpio. So in each of these signs, the soul must experience the alchemical purification of death before it can proceed. Okay, so the ruler of Pisces, I use traditional rulerships. I've also used Neptune many times as the ruler of Pisces, and it does fit, it does make sense. But I tend to look at Jupiter as the ruler of Pisces. Okay, the thing with Jupiter is that, yeah, we do associate him with, law, diplomacy, stuff like that. But Jupiter is mysticism. Jupiter is deep, deep, profoundly wise. His Mahavidya is Tara, and Tara brings to us wisdom. Tara is Shabda Brahman, or the word. Okay, exaltation of Pisces. Which planet is exalted in Pisces? Let's see who can tell. It is none other than Venus, who also happens to be in Pisces right now. Detriment is Mercury, of course, because Mercury rules Virgo, and fall also of Mercury, because Mercury is exalted at 15 degrees of Virgo. So obviously at 15 degrees of Pisces, Mercury is in fall. So if you tend to have your Mercury at 15 degrees of Pisces, it could almost seem like, logical thinking, analytical thinking is sort of a challenge for you, okay? Now, okay, there's a water. Water takes us to a sort of an imaginative, pre-verbal state of cognition before the word has been expressed, before, the feelings have been expressed. It's a sort of a pre-verbal state, okay? uh, it's mutable, so there's a lot of change, a lot of flux. Jupiter incidentally happens to rule two mutable signs, Sagittarius and Pisces, and the exaltation of Jupiter happens to be Cancer, okay, the most fertile sign of the zodiac. So feminine and negative as in introverted. Pisces can be quite the introvert, as well as there is a gregarious side of Jupiter, and then that shows the Pisces can fluctuate between, introversion and extroversion. So they're almost like a sort of an ambivert. Okay, they can be whatever depending on the mood, depending on the emotional input they receive. Sorry, they're extremely susceptible to emotional responses. Okay, the key energies to discuss and understand: imagination is heightened at this time. Dreaming, fantasy, role play, romance, twin flames, soulmates, all of these ideas and all of these concepts seem to come alive in our psyche. So, the thing with Pisces lunation is it heightens the imagination. Okay, and because this is a new moon, whatever you need to, the seeds you need to sow, maybe you should listen to your imagination, for they will provide to you the correct seeds to sow. Okay, also extreme sensitivity to sound, to light, to emotions, to people. Like I've already explained, Pisces is an emotional sponge where they tend to absorb energy from people. If they walk into a room, they can immediately gauge the emotional properties of that room. They're extremely high with their emotional quotient, EQ, okay? Pisces people. So extreme sensitivity, so prone to depression because of, external feedback. If the feedback is not conducive to the imagination of Pisces, they can quite be disheartened, right? ESP, of course, whenever you have such an intuitive energy, you tend to have precognition, you tend to have ESP, you tend to have prophetic dreams, you tend to have, communication with the ancestors, spirit guides. So all of this becomes to really heightened ESP, extrasensory perception. Okay, it's almost like, when I go sometimes when I go out and I have my moon in Pisces on the 11th degree. And sometimes when I go out and I like touch the elevator or I touch something and I get electricity, like I literally get a shock. So I'm extremely susceptible to energies, to, emotions of people. And this used to trouble me quite a great deal when I was younger, because it made no sense to me, some of the things I felt, some of the things I saw. And it is only through sadhana, through spiritual practices, that I was able to ground this kind of really disturbing sort of, ESP situation that I was in. And I recently watched this film, Insidious, The Last Key, I think. And I saw that little girl, and that little girl could literally see things and could literally feel the spirits in the house, and her father literally tried to beat it out of her. And my father never did that, thankfully, but I know what it is, what it's like. I have been crucified, vilified for my imagination, and ultimately I stopped sharing some things with people because it didn't make sense to them, and it didn't make sense to me either, because I was really young and I couldn't understand any of it. Okay, the another thing that I want to mention about Pisces is it is Christ consciousness. So there's a sense of sacrifice, there's a sense of selfless love and devotion, But if you're sacrificing non-stop and you're not getting anything in return, this can lead to resentment or passive aggressive behavior. In some cases, this can, estrange you from your family. We just, have had enough and you walk out. So, developing healthy boundaries is so important. Otherwise, you start to play that victim savior game. And that, the savior complex is something that is the victim savior complex is associated to Pisces heavily. So oftentimes we play the victim and oftentimes we play the savior. For when we are playing the savior, we need to rescue people, because if we heal them, somewhere we feel like we've healed ourselves. So oftentimes I've seen Pisces women, even men actually, getting into this relationship pattern where they tend to save people. Like they think it's a sort of a compulsion to save people. For if they can save that person, maybe they can save themselves. So this is a really a conflicted, paradoxical energy that Pisces gives out. It is the victim, it is the martyr, it is ready to sacrifice itself, but it also wants to rescue. It also wants to heal, because by healing that other person, the Pisces native tends to heal themselves. And this is so stupendous actually, because after all we are all holographic projections mimicking each other. And this, when we talk about mimicking, Pisces understands mimesis. Okay, the classical Plutonian mimesis. Children learn through mimesis. So the Pisces individual tends to also imitate emotions, tends to imitate feelings and sensibilities, and oftentimes they lose their own persona. So this is something to keep in mind. It's okay. It's definitely necessary to sacrifice. I'm not for one moment taking that away from humanity. Sacrifice is so important. But if we keep sacrificing and hoping that we receive something in exchange and that doesn't happen, that can lead to extreme contradictions in our own psyche. So, this is something I've observed with Pisces. Ethereal, of course, otherworldly. When the word says go forth into matter, when that word adjusts or grants or augurs itself in matter, the vibration, the adya spandya, the vibration, the primordial vibration, when that augurs itself due to planetary rays into matter, the Pisces energy is the most ethereal of the whole zodiac. So here Jupiter is really swimming in the infinite seas of mutable water, water that is quick changing, water that is fluctuating, water that is sacrificial, water that is connecting us to ESP. So, this also gives rise to deep empathy, deep compassion, and a sense of love that Christ had so he could sacrifice himself for the sins of humanity. I mean, no matter how perverted this may sound, that, why did God not just kill the devil? Instead, he, sacrificed his own son. I mean, his son had to sacrifice himself for the sins of humanity. Even then, if you just divorce all of these, taking things too literally, and you just look at the act, that one man can even have the thought to sacrifice himself for all of humanity. How precious is that? That is the otherworldly energy of Pisces. If it touches us, it sort of subsumes us. Okay, there is deep empathy, deep compassion. I call the Pisces the Bodhisattva energy. Okay, for Bodhisattvas renounce Buddhahood to become immortal beings who, when called upon correctly with the right mantra, come and help humanity time and time again. So, I mean, you've got to be crazy to renounce nirvana, to give up your own peace, to come again and again into the world of duality, into the world of polarities, into death, destruction, and disease. For, we are all entangled in the quantum void. So the Bodhisattva thinks that how will I find liberation till I do not liberate the lost soul? And the lost soul is never the lost soul, for all matter is spiraling upwards towards, towards more consciousness. So a stone is equally concerned, maybe not like us or expressive like us, but a stone also, a rock also has consciousness. And a rock will possibly be a tree. And one day we will possibly be planets. And one day we will possibly be like Saturn, the vizier of the sun. And one day we will be the sun. And we will have our own little solar systems. Can you imagine the soul that must become Jupiter? So, it's ultimately the Bodhisattva energy that the higher vibration of Pisces emanates. Okay? Although Pisces Sun, they tend to be quite conflicted because the Sun is diurnal, Pisces is nocturnal, Sun is dry, Pisces is cold and moist, Sun is hot. So there is no compatibility between them. And oftentimes, the Pisces Sun individual can be extremely conflicted. This is something I've seen. I think a Pisces Moon person embodies more the Pisces energy. Even Pisces ascendant, but hopefully, you have a well-placed Jupiter, right? We also have to see day chart and night chart and so many things there, right? Now, the dark expression of Pisces, we cannot avoid that. When we talk of the good, we have to talk of the bad because this is the world of duality and polarities. Nothing of itself is purely good and nothing of itself is purely bad. So the dark expressions of the mutual water sign, that is the 12th sign of the zodiac, ruled by Jupiter, the exaltation of Venus, and the fall and detriment of Mercury. So there is an escapism inherent in the Pisces energy signature, an escapism that wants to escape the 9 to 5 confines, the dreary existence that we lead. For it concerns itself with poetry or music. Pisces people are extremely musical. And oftentimes I've seen that music tends to help the Pisces native tremendously. So biurnal beats, gamma beats, okay? Very good for meditating. Unrealistic. The Pisces energy is not about realism. As I already said, it is otherworldly. So you put a Pisces heavy person to sit at a desk and do accounting, they will possibly not be very happy about it. Okay, even if they have that, Jupiter conjunct that Saturn and Capricorn, they just will not be happy about it because they need to submerge themselves into fantasy, into the ecstasy of fantasy, and that's where they get addicted. That's why addictions happen. For the imagination starts to deteriorate after say 7, 8, 9, 10, and then bam, we hit puberty. And everything is different. Our parents are different, our bodies are different. Uh, we want to be loved, we want to be accepted, we have hormones raging in our body. Everything changes around us. So the imagination, because it has become dull, seeks other substances like alcohol, like heroin, like, crystal meth. On the upper part of this is the psychedelic experience, like ayahuasca, mescaline. But the lower vibrations of this is extreme addiction, whether be it to alcohol, whether be it to heroin, or, you know, I was just thinking about the Lana Del Rey song. Every time I speak of heroin, it's like, it gave you everything, but it took your life away. So it sort of takes them to that state of pure bliss and ecstasy and removes them from the confinement of matter. The word said, go forth into matter. So, this is the dichotomy that a Pisces person who is possibly addicted, they need to understand this. They need to understand that their psyche is trying to substitute imagination with alcohol, imagination with drugs. It's not going to end well, because ultimately these substances are not eternal. So you will fall down, you will come down, and on the down part, that can destroy you. For how do you reframe that psyche? So that's why I also tell my students that it's all right to have a psychedelic experience, but you must have someone there with you, someone who is your guide, someone who loves you, someone who is spiritual, you know. Otherwise, you will not get the experience of mescaline or DMT. You need that person to hold your hand. For only then can you completely tune in and, turn off the external noise and drop out of this material rat race. And I'm not using the word drop out in a pejorative sense, right? Yes, of course, astrology, it is the truth, right? Look at me, I am the mouthpiece of the stars. I tell you star stories, and that's all I do. For I know the stories of the stars. I can hear, I can feel them, you know. So, like I said, unrealistic. Why are you unrealistic? If you tend to understand that, everything falls into place, right? Also, vague. Pisces, the negative expression of Pisces is just being vague. Yeah, okay, I want that. Next one, I don't want that. I don't know what to do. I'm going to wear this. I'm not going to wear that. Where do you want to eat? I don't know. Stuff like that. Just vague, right? And changes too much, vacillating between two options. I want this. Nah, I don't want that. Oh, okay, I'm going to go for that. Really, another day, maybe. So, like that, okay? And also, another thing with Pisces is that weak willed. You can be weak willed because of this otherworldly vibe I just spoke about, and the necessity to sort of, stay plugged into something surreal. So oftentimes Pisces people do tend to have a macabre fascination for near-death experiences. Even something as simple as just, holding your breath underwater. I used to do that profusely. I still do. And I do pranayam and I do all of that and Kapalbhati. I have a pretty good, capacity to hold my breath. So I tend to hold it as long as I can, till I can't no more. And that connects me to crazy visions. It's so you will always be interested and you will make money through the occult, through things hidden, maybe psychology, or art, very artistic, Pisces 10th house, right? So please develop a backbone. Pisces, everybody that's listening, develop a backbone. Know when to say no. I've had enough. If you're out with a guy and he wants it from you and you don't want to do it, he's not going to die because of a boner. Say no. Okay? So have a backbone, please. Right? Because you also need to function in the 3D world. Right? See, tarot reader and jewelry designer, art and the occult. You will be a very good tarot reader. Okay, now let us understand the perfect time. This lunation on the 13th, what should we do? Please use whole sign houses, sweeties. Do not use Placidus, because in my experience of 2 decades of working with astrology, use whole sign houses, please. Okay, so what can we do? Everybody tells me that, Tina, can you tell us what is the best thing to do this lunation? Create art, create music, sing, dream. The power of dreams. We don't even know what dreams actually do. What is the purpose of human beings dreaming? What if this is a dream in a dream in a dream in a dream? In a dream in a dream in a dream, infinitely. It is a simulation. So dream, pursue mysteries of the occult. So the Pisces energy wants to know what is beyond all of this matter, this body, these eyes, what lies inside my soul. Right? You love music. Your name's music lover, of course. Right? So, mysticism, a great time to take Diksha, for instance, and Shivratri happens to be on the 11th. Great time to take Diksha, great time to do mantra sadhana, great time to do astrological magic, great time to draw little magic squares or yantras, things that attract you. And another thing that I wanted to say is Pisces can be quite absurd. Why? Because of the otherworldly energy it brings. It can be quite absurd. It does not adhere to 3D rules, right? So, one of my favorite writers, Albert Camus, says the absurd is the essential concept and the first truth. So, once you look at it through the spectrum of Pisces, the absurd is the first truth. Okay? The essential concept and the first truth. Because everything around us has a pinch of absurd, right? I mean, for me, it's absolutely absurd. My life is absurd. And I'm sure all of you in your own way have experiences that life is absurd. And I have my moon in Pisces, like I was saying, and my moon is my most dominant planet. It's the planet making all the aspects. And I've got my ascendant in Virgo, opposite that moon. And I've got that Venus applying in opposition to that moon. And I've got that Mars applying in opposition to that moon. And I've also got that Rahu on with my ascendants all in Virgo. And I've got that Ketu, not on the moon, but I've got Ketu on 29 degrees of Pisces, conjunct the fixed star sheet. Scheat. Shit. Shit. Skeet. Not skeet, it's shit. Shit. Okay? It's a very diabolical fixed star. It's dangerous. So if you have any planets on the 29th degree of Pisces, and I have my Rahu opposite that, 29 degrees of Virgo. So sheet is misfortune, the weeping star, the culmination of the zodiac. So, I know the absurd. I love the absurd, right? The ridiculous. To me, that is the essential concept. For I take life to be a simulation. And in that simulation, I must work to complete my levels, like we're all working towards completing levels, right? So think about this. As human beings with solid existences, with parents, husbands, lovers, what is most absurd? What is the most absurd idea? That existence is illusory. It's an illusion. It's temporary, yet it is eternal. I mean, if that is not absurd, I don't know what is, right? Existence is illusory as it is eternal. The two, the I and E, illusory as well as eternal. The paradoxical energy of Pisces, so full of contradictions, right? So this is of course decan 3 of Pisces, like I said. This decan is Aries triplicity, of course. Mars, Mars, Mars. First decan of Pisces is Pisces triplicity, right? Second decan is Cancer triplicity. Third decan of Pisces is Scorpio triplicity. So this is an extremely phantasmagorical and fantastic decan, right? The tarot for this is 10 of Cups. I know I love that tarot card so much. I wish I had it, but I don't want to start looking through it. I am going to cut the cards. I've already saged them. And I had taken the cards out and then I put them back and I saged them again. So I completely forgot this otherworldly energy that's playing in my mind, and I completely forgot to keep the cards out. So 10 of Cups, for those of you that have access to a tarot card, if you don't, get online and type 10 of Cups. 10 of Cups is total emotional fulfillment. I've noticed that whenever this card, is the energy signature, multiple cycles are concluding. Multiple cycles are concluding, right? For some, it is a romantic cycle. For some, it is a spiritual cycle. Love is romantic as well as divine. All love is divine. But some of it is romantic and sexual, libidinal, and some of this is elevated and spiritual. The love that I have for my guru is elevated, is spiritual. He's a man, but I don't lust after him. So the energy here is dualistic again. It's romantic. It makes you, uh, hug someone, touch someone, feel someone. But also makes you spiritual. Makes you want to meditate, makes you want to go deep into the mysteries of the occult, right? Now, Sun, Moon, Venus, and Neptune are all in Pisces, okay? Now, and they are receiving transmissions from the ether. They said worldly energy, etheric activation. Okay, and we've seen Neptune quite a while, sitting from 2011, 11 years now, wow, in Pisces, and sort of brewing this mystical, alchemical portion for all of humanity. And we want more of tarot, we want more of astrology, we want more of, goddess worship, and we want more of spiritual exploration. And this is working, these transmissions that they are receiving from the etheric void. In a sense, they're working together to lift the veil. Neptune is the veil, the great cosmos, the god Varuna. But here, they're all working towards lifting the veil of matter. And this, I believe, this lunation is a quantum jump in consciousness. A quantum jump in consciousness, okay? The third decan of Pisces is Scorpio triplicity ruled by Mars. Okay. And this new moon, right, with the mystical Piscean aura of transcendence, is illuminating a deep yearning in our soul, a deep craving. And I don't think that if you take out a tub of ice cream and start eating it right now, I don't think it's going to really take away the craving. Something more. Pisces loves sweet things. Venus is exalted in Pisces. Pisces loves excesses. Jupiter is the ruler of Pisces. Excesses of all kinds. So this deep yearning in our souls, sometimes even sex will not satisfy. Nothing satisfies this deep yearning in our soul. Okay? It goes beyond just the genitalia. It goes somewhere deep where nothing can touch and nobody can touch. Unless they have a key to your soul, of course. Now, so to contemplate right now on the timeless impermanence. Timeless impermanence. And we speak about this ephemeral timelessness when Saturn is the final dispositor. It's surreal, right? That's what Pisces is. Timeless impermanence. The fleeting moment when we start speaking to someone and we speak to them and they become such an important part of our life. And then suddenly one day, just like that, they are gone. And you possibly never hear from them again. But that moment when they were there, at that moment of eternity, that is the timeless impermanence. Few good things about Pisces, right? Honest, earnest, forever the wandering soul. Look at me, forever the wandering soul. Psychics, death walkers, death doulas, mediums, clairvoyants, spirit workers. This is the energy of Pisces. These are the people of Pisces, right? The Pisces rules the feet as well as the melatonin, which produces our sleep. Melanin produces our sleep cycles. Pineal gland, it is related to the pineal gland, the endocrine system, and it rules the feet. So let us walk back to source using the feet. The feet are quite interesting actually. The feet also remind us of the yoni, right? So ultimately it is walking back to source code. It's walking back to the Godhead. Okay. Now the archangel is Sandalphon, and he directs music in heaven. Okay, and he resolves conflicts and contradictions. So the fact that he directs music in heaven tells us that Pisces is heavily connected to healing with music, right? Okay. Now, according to esoteric astrology, I told you that Pisces is one of the signs of death, the other two being Aries and Scorpio. Now, in these three signs, three types of death must be experienced. Three types of death, okay? Now, the anima mundi, or the soul, the world soul, the oversoul, what Steiner calls the oversoul, okay? What we say jivatma, okay? The anima mundi passes through Pisces at the end of every single great age, right? And in Pisces, death is it's almost like drowning. Pisces is mutable water. Scorpio is fixed water, frozen. Aries is death by burning. But here, it's almost like, sinking into hell, drowning into hell. I said that alcoholism, drug abuse, all of that, the low shadow vibrations of Pisces, it's almost like sinking into hell. But no gates of hell can hold you tonight. For you resurrect and you realize the whole culmination of the anima mundi through the zodiacal wheel. And you become one with source again. And then the word said, go forth into matter. And then it starts again with Aries. Starts again and again and again. Infinitely, endlessly, different dimensions, different realities, different paradigms. It's endless. It's infinite. Right? Neptune is so close to this lunation, right? And in the theosophical circle, we call Neptune as Mayavik. In fact, Blavatsky, or HPB as I call her, had said very clearly in The Secret Doctrine that Neptune is a Mayavik. She says that Neptune does not belong to our solar system. Adepts say, highest adepts of this Manvantara have said that the connection of Neptune to this solar system is illusory. It is Mayavik. Right? Neptune brought all of this imagination, this fantastic ideas from other worlds, right? And he infused the solar system, Varuna. He infused the solar system with all of these ideas, all of these otherworldly things that he knows about. He comes into the simulation of the sun, and he's not from this little solar system game that is, being played. But he comes in, and he brings with him all this fantastic energy, dreams, music, high inspiration, and he infuses the solar system with this. So here we are, immersing ourselves in this orgiastic bliss of the occult. Neptune has brought a lot of occult knowledge into the solar system. That's why the modern astrologers have attributed the rulership of Pisces to Neptune. He's not from here. Pisces is a sign that's definitely not material. So why not give the Mayavik rulership over Pisces? But you can't do that. Jupiter is too powerful. Jupiter produces his own heat by his own storms that he creates. He is ready to be a sun, but he did not. He says, I'm not ready as yet to have my own solar system. I know I could be a sun. I know I could have my own solar system, but I'm not ready as yet. I'm ready to guide Pisces and to guide Sagittarius, right? That is something, the Mayavik energy of Neptune. That's why they say that Neptune is like a fog, a veil over matter. For, the Neptunian energy touches you, everything is surreal. Everything is surreal. And I cannot wait for Neptune conjunct Saturn, 29 degrees of Pisces in 2026 on my Ketu. Right? Who else is waiting for Saturn conjunct Neptune on the 29th degree of Pisces, conjunct the fixed star sheet somewhere in 2026? I'm waiting for that. Something quite crazy. However, every time that Ketu has been activated for me, that 29 degrees of Pisces, I always tend to fall sick. When Chiron was transiting that zone, I remember it was absolutely mind-boggling for me. Anyway, back to the video report. So, right, so we need, Neptune is an absorbing or abstracting planet. and it is connected to the perfecting process. That's what the highest adepts say. So the perfecting process is not easy, right? But that is why we feel the pangs, the anguish from Neptune. We don't understand, we can't augur these otherworldly energies that are seeping through right now. With Venus and Neptune conjunct the Sun and Moon, we need to, play around the themes of captivity, restriction, confinement. So I think that, if you've heard of shibari, it's a Japanese form of rope bondage. So if you practice shibari, the Japanese also do something called swaddling, adult swaddling. So when we use bondage or shibari meditation on such an ephemeral lunation, it brings mindfulness around the themes I just spoke about: bondage, captivity, restriction, confinement. You know, uh, that is something, feeling tied up, feeling bound, and yet feeling that sense of connection to everything. So surrender. Ultimately, Pisces teaches surrender. Okay. So there will be a ton of spooky action at a distance, of course, and discomfort, much discomfort before we drown and die, okay, in the oceanic depths of Pisces. This death is not something to be scared of. This death is the death of illusion, okay? It's a death of illusion. Pisces plays with paradoxes, okay? So try soul immersion into whatever you're doing, okay? And if you so feel called, draw an icosahedron. It's a nine-line figure, icosahedron. Okay, now Vatius Valens says of Pisces, Vatius Valens is absolutely my favorite Hellenistic astrologer. He says Pisces is feminine, moist, quite wet, bicorporeal, which means double-bodied, two fish swimming in two different directions, with many offsprings. I told you before, Cancer is the most fertile sign. Second in line is possibly that Pisces, okay? Humpback. If you notice, I've noticed this with Pisces Sun. Many people who have Pisces Sun especially have a humpback. They stand with incorrect gait. I have seen this. I've got 20 years of experience studying astrology, and this is what I've observed. Hunchback, especially Pisces Sun. Okay, humpback, mute. Mute means introverted. Rough skin. Oftentimes, Pisces natives, tend to have rough skin. And always in conflict because of the two fishes swimming in opposite directions. But obviously, right? So, social, Pisces is social, yet introverted. Changeable, lewd, very licentious, according to Valence, Pisces, very sensual, with some limbs missing. Cause of wandering. I said Pisces makes us wanderers, cause of wandering, okay? Natives are unsteady, unreliable, changing from good fortune to bad, however sexy, very sexy, thievish, shameless, prolific, popular. These are some of the significations given by Valence. Now, new moon is in term 4 of Pisces. And the term 4 of Pisces belongs to Mars. Mars again. Mars is the ruler also through triplicity system. This is a Scorpio triplicity. Now, this particular term is active, makes bold guides, attaining success in mystic lore, plundering, but then restoring, varied, not dying a natural death. So natives born with ascendant or maybe particular planets on this term 4, may not die a natural death. Okay, but very popular, prolific and popular. Okay, that's a good thing. Now dispositions. Let's understand the dispositions. Sun is in Pisces, disposited by Jupiter. Moon in Pisces, disposited by Jupiter. Venus in Pisces, disposited by Jupiter. Neptune, disposited by Jupiter. Jupiter is disposited by Saturn. Saturn in rulership in Aquarius. Mercury is again disposited by Saturn, and Mars is again disposited by Mercury. So this brings us to the end of our list, as Saturn is the final dispositor of this lunation. And air element is most dominant. So networking, internet activities, writing, expressing yourself, cogitating, ruminating, all of that is very possible right now. Shape of the chart is a bundle. It's also a Kala Sarpa dosha, of course. Now, very interestingly, the tropical chart is circular, spherical, circular, and the Vedic chart is a square. It's something so interesting, right? The square and the circle. Now, the bundle shape is all about the hero's journey, right? And this is also emphasized by Scorpio triplicity, because of course Mars is forever, the hero's journey. So also the term is ruled by Mars. Term 4 of Pisces is ruled by Mars. So the hero's journey, very, very much emphasized. This could have one feeling like a demigod, okay, like I am a demigod. The task of the bundle, however, is to become humble, believe it or not. The task is to become humble, embrace compassion, embrace humility, okay? Now let's understand some of the major aspects of conjunction of the 4 Sun, Moon, Venus, and Neptune. Exact, of course, of Sun and Moon. And all of these luminaries, they are sextiling Pluto. Pluto is in Capricorn, running through the last decan of Capricorn, the last legs of Capricorn. Mars is trine Saturn. Okay, so this sextile. Like I said, sextile is not a major aspect. It's a benefic aspect, of course, and it's sort of like a, harmonious flow of energy. Okay. Mars trine Saturn. Trines, I've said, they happen in the same element. Mars is in Taurus, and of course Saturn is in Aquarius. Mars is in Gemini at this moment, sorry. And Saturn is in Aquarius. And the air element again, Mars and Saturn are again interacting. They started this new cycle when they met in Aquarius, 0 degrees, and they were conjunct together. And this trine sort of, I think, brings about some of the good sides of that meeting, some of the conversation they had that day. Okay, this trine is again technology, possibly high-tech innovations, space travel. Aquarius is space, and Gemini loves to communicate about everything. Now Saturn is square Uranus, which we feel pretty much all of 2021 and 2022. Saturn square Uranus, fixed square, Aquarius and Taurus square. Saturn is in Aquarius and Uranus is in Taurus. I've made a separate video about this, so you can catch that at any point. Now let's understand the fixed star astrology. The fixed star here, the Sun and the Moon are at 23 degrees. It's conjunct the fixed star Markab, M-A-R-K-A-B. And this is an unfortunate fixed star of the nature of Mars, Mercury and Venus. So the lower vibrations of these planets are being concentrated in this unfortunate star of sorrow. as this fixed star is called, Markab, star of sorrow, okay, violence, honors, riches, literary, legal problems, accidents. So, we have to think about Markov. Markov being this fixed star that is in full action. The Pico trick says that the lunation is happening between Manzar 25 and 26. Now, many people have asked me that, Tina, how come you're giving these manzars that are a bit later? Because manzars are calculated according to fixed stars, and because of the precession of the equinox, the fixed stars also keep moving. Not like, maybe Mercury or the moon, but they do keep moving. So the manzils also have shifted from the time that they were identified. So if you go to Renaissance Astrology of Christopher Warnock, you will see in that, just type tropical mansions of the moon. Get on his website and you will see that Christopher Warnock has given us the manzils as they stand in 2019. So the manzils are essentially pushed back 2 manzils or something like that, okay? So before this would be manzil 23, but now it's manzil 25, 26. So find that out. Go to Renaissance Astrology, Christopher Warnock, the man who translated the Pico tricks that I bought. And you will see what I mean by the lunation is happening at 25, 26 manzils. 25th manzil is Sad al-Akhbiya. Sad al-Akhbiya. That is from 2 to 23 Pisces as it stands today. So bang, it's absolutely on the lunation. So we also have to take 23, 24 degrees. So we also have to take the 26th manzil, which is Al-Farq Al-Awal, which is from 23 Pisces to 10 Aries, okay? Now, the talismans that are made here, so we will essentially, I think, concentrate on Al-Farq, okay, Al-Farq, because it's more important to, no, we'll first talk about 25. I have written some notes on 25 as well. Sad al-Akhbiyan. Talismans made here promote separation of lovers and to guard the repair of buildings, says the Pico Tricks. Now, Aziel, A-Z-I-E-L, is the name of the lord of this mansion. 26 manzil, what I just said, Al-Muqdim, which is also known as Al-Farq Al-Awal. The talismans made here promote goodwill amongst men. Tagriel is lord of the mansion. So I want to emphasize on the 26th manzil, Al-Farq Al-Muqaddam or Muqdim. It is known as the preceding spout. Markab is the indicator star for the 26th manzil as it stands in 2019. The talismanic image of Al-Muqdim is a woman washing or combing her hair in a vessel. So beautification, purification, allowing water to heal. So suffumigation for this is all sweet smelling odors are the suffumigation. Robson says, with moon here, plants sow, bargain, marry, but do not navigate. Interestingly, this Markab lies in the Pegasus constellation, in the real, not in tropical zodiac. In real astronomy, Markab is a white star. It lies in Pegasus. And now, I wanted to talk about something called the Pegasus Syndrome. Okay, the Pegasus Syndrome is exemplified in the legends of Perseus and Bellerophon. Okay, Bellerophon. Now, both of them, obviously, you know the story a bit, right? Pegasus, he flew to Olympus. They both wanted to fly to Olympus. So Pegasus ultimately rose above his station and he flew to Olympus. Whereas Bellerophon was punished because he fell to the earth, right? and he could not rise above, and he was ridiculed once he fell down or fell to the earth. Pegasus flew right to Olympus, to the home of gods. So there is this, the Pegasus syndrome is about rising above your limitations, yet not overstretching yourself, where you can be embarrassed and like Belarus phone, you can fall down on the earth and you can be ridiculed. So there are two sides to this. You could be Pegasus, or you could be the object of everyone's ridicule. So with this Pegasus syndrome, rise above but know your limitations. And like I said, Bellerophon was not Belarus phone, sorry. Bellerophon was tossed back to earth and was reproached. So if you overreach, you could be reproached by authority, or by people in your life, or by situations, or by karma. Be careful of the Pegasus syndrome, okay? Merkab makes one restless because it's a flighty fixed star, right? It's a white star on the wing of the constellation Pegasus. In myths, Pegasus was born of the blood of Medusa when she was beheaded. So again, the birth of Pegasus being, a sort of a trauma event. Very interesting, right? The Pegasus syndrome. Know when to reach for what. Know when to say no. That's not for me. I'm not going to go for that. Now we move to the Vedic chart. The Vedic chart is unlike the tropical chart. The tropical chart is a circle. The Vedic chart is a square. Now the Sun, Moon, Mercury and Venus are all in Aquarius in the Vedic chart. And this lunation, this Amavasya, is happening in Gemini Navamsa. Mars is in Taurus. Jupiter and Saturn are in Capricornus, or Capricorn, Makara. Saturn, hands down, wins disposition again. He's in rulership. Sun is in Purva Bhadra, in Pada 3, ruled by Jupiter. And Sun, like the moon, wants Artha, but they are both combined. So we may be searching for money, ways to enhance our income, ways to display our skills. So we may enhance our income. Okay, Pada 3, Gemini Navamsa wants Artha. Okay, now when the Sun is in a Jupiter ruled nakshatra, jaundice is possible. Liver, gallbladder diseases are possible. Now Moon, of course, is conjunct the Sun. So Moon is also in Purva Bhadrapada, ruled by Jupiter, Pada 3. And Moon in Jupiter ruled nakshatra is actually pretty good, because it gives robust health. As this is the Gemini Navamsa, Gemini is ruled by Mercury. Same rulerships apply in the Vedic system. This Pada loves communication, okay? And all the planets want Artha. The two main planets, the Sun and the Moon, want Artha, money. So communication will be around world financial systems, okay? World financial systems. Incidentally, this Gemini Navamsa of this particular in the Aquarius sign, this Gemini Navamsa, this is the lightest Navamsa, the lightest part of Aquarius here, and it makes one extremely curious. Again, curiosity killed the cat. So extremely curious, and balance is what I'm saying, right? Mantra for Jupiter. I made a separate video on Vedic Jupiter. You can check that out. Om Gram Green Grom Sa Guruve Namaha. Om Gram Green Grom Sa Guruve Namaha. Om Gram Green Grom Sa Guruve Namaha. Okay. You can chant this 108 times. If you can't, 11 times, fine. Face east. Sacred tree is Indian lilac or nimba, which is neem. So, even neem based face packs will be very effective, or even eating a bit of neem. If you have access to neem, I have a neem tree right here. So I can reach out my hand and ask the tree for permission. The tree is my friend, by the way, and take some leaves, and then I can, make something with it. Neem is extremely bitter, but I like the taste. I can deal with the taste. Okay. Now, okay, the parts of the body ruled by the nakshatra, right? It is the left thigh. Okay, the left thigh, Purva Bhadrapada. The left thigh. So the left thigh is ruled in your body also of the nakshatra Purusha. I will make a separate video about nakshatra Purusha as well as mantra Purusha, how I apply the mantra to various parts of the body with touch and Reiki. The mantra Purusha therapy that I offer. Many of you have been asking me about it, and I will make a video about that separately. So Purva Bhadrapada is the left thigh of the nakshatra Purusha. Your left thigh too. You can touch while you're chanting Om Grang Green Grong Sa Guruve Namaha Om Grang Green Grong Sa Guruve Namaha Om Grang Green Grong Sa Guruve Namaha. Vedic mantras Devatana Rishinancha Gurun Kadakasannivam Vandya Bhutam Trilokesham Tang Namami Brihaspatim. Brihaspati is his name, is the name of Jupiter. The symbol of Purva Bhadrapada is a two-headed man, which again exemplifies the tropical Pisces energy by corporeal. It's a dual star, by the way, Purva Bhadrapada. Merkab, cross swords. Remember, swords always cut away at ignorance, cut away, disperse of illusion. Purva Bhadrapada is Manushya-gana. That means they are humane, human sign, okay, concerned with humanity. Now, before I move on to the tarot reading, what if you had a baby on 13th of March, right? What if you had a baby today? Your baby will be a humanistic philosopher, okay? And their special power or genius will be Brihaspati-oriented wisdom of expansion, fertility and abundance, right? A true master of gigantic mental mindscapes, mind palaces. How Sherlock would sit with Watson and he was like, they're investigating something and he was like, let's go into our mind palace. If your child is born in Purva Bhadrapada, his mind palace is phenomenal. Phenomenal mind palace, right? So, very wise, very old soul. The child will be born knowing her truth. No messing around here. She knows who she is, or he knows who he is. Look for Vimshotri Dashas of Jupiter, and that is when all the significations will fructify. I don't only look at Vimshotri Dasha, I look at many other Dasha charts, Ashtavarga Dasha. But the baby will have beautiful eyes. Beautiful eyes. However, they can be condescending and overbearing. One of my favorite writers, he has his Chandra here, his moon here, and that is Hermann Hesse. Hermann Hesse is known for the Steppenwolf, he's known for Siddhartha. As Hesse says, the truth is lived, not taught. So, coming from such a powerful Brihaspati manifestation, he says, the truth is lived, not taught. So you see how Hermann Hesse expresses his emotions through Purva Bhadrapada. Profound, right? So now we will cut straight to the tarot reading. I have got my tarot But again, I've kept it a bit far away as usual because my cats are here and they could drop my tarot cards. But we'll get to it. It's all saged and ready to go for all of you. So we will begin with, of course, Aries, the first sign of the zodiac. Let us concentrate. So I did say that, this is Jupiter's lunation, Purva Bhadrapada. So we can do a very simple mantra of Tara. His Mahavidya is Tara. It's a very powerful Tara activation mantra, which is Om Ain, Aum, Reem, Cream, Hum, Fat. So, Aries, let's see what you can expect today. If there is an idea about finances, time to, wait it out. You could be misguided. You may not get the correct advice. Not that someone's purposely, deceitfully trying to play this on you. But as of right now, let's wait it out if when it comes to finances, or even if it's about dating somebody who's an earth sign person, wait it out. Don't rush into, marriage right away, or don't expect them to propose, or, you don't do the proposing and then back out. All right, now we've gone Taurus. Of course, Taurus. Child of Venus. And you get the Eight of Swords. So there's a lot of mental anguish. There's a lot of a feeling of being confinement, what we were talking about with the Pisces energy, playing or being mindful, being mindfully aware of themes around bondage, constriction, confinement, restriction. Oftentimes you realize that it's all been in your head. It's all in your head. You can walk out, you can step out. Things are not as bad as they look. Okay, no matter what you think. Gemini, children of Mercury, always chatting, always gossiping, humorous, witty. Alright, so Gemini, this, wow, okay. Family problems is what I feel. This is the card of Virgo, and Virgo for you is like dangerous, it's family foundations. Complications with family, complications could be with a father figure, complications around, or you may need some solitude, you're just running yourself too thin, literally. Now moving on to Cancer, of course, the children of the moon, and wow, celebration, teamwork, get-togethers, happiness, drinking, chatting, maybe dating. Maybe you can meet someone there too, Pisces is a trikon sign, a trine sign for you, fellow sister. Water sign. Right now, Leo. Sun, not in a good place in Pisces, right? Also your 8th house. So let's see what we have. 8th house, other people's money. Pay your taxes, Leo. Yes. So something could be abrupt. Some change that comes, that posits itself in your conscious awareness. Something that shocks your ego possibly. Something that you need to change your perspective, okay, to see things from a different side, and whatever's fallen, let it fall. Take a deep breath. 8th house, also the house of death. So, you could die. As I said, Pisces is the sign of death, and death is not something to be afraid of. Now, Virgo, your polarity, of course, wow, all reverses. 9 of Wands. A lot of having to prove your point, a lot of standing your ground, a lot of, having clear demarcations for not being exploited by other people. Now, Libra, the children of Venus. Seven of Swords. So someone's stealing something from you. Could be a girlfriend or boyfriend, but could also be information. Could be something related to your mental peace. It's quite hard, or you possibly don't even know yet, Libra. But hopefully you will see something, a pattern, or someone just not acting the way they should. Scorpio, the children of Mars, of course. What do I have for you? Wow. Good money, health from possibly someone discovering that you are in control of your finances and possibly getting that money for a project. Also amazing. King of Pentacles. I mean, who can argue that it's a bad card, right? And then we did Scorpio, right? Sagittarius, children of Jupiter. Om Grang Green Grongsa Guru De Namaha. You are feeling a bit left out, a bit abandoned by someone or your family. Um, it could be that it's all in your mind and you are, in a sense, alienating yourself from people. Maybe because, certain things were said and, maybe they didn't mean that. And you don't have to be in this kind of a desperate situation if you just allow yourself to be, helped or healed or embraced in some way. Capricornus, the children of Saturnus. Wow, amazing. King of Pentacles. So money, and being in your power, getting that grant, getting that project approved, uh, all good, Capricornus. Now we got Aquarius, the airy children of Saturn. And again, the King of Pentacles. Looks like the King of Pentacles doesn't want to leave me. An earth sign male, maybe. I don't know, male or female. I don't know. So yeah, wow. King of Pentacles again. Who is this? Aquarius. Wow. Okay. Pisces, this is your gig. I so should have started it out. Oh my god, again the King of Pentacles just like literally fell out. Like literally just fell out. So the King of Pentacles definitely has something to say to me. So I'm just going to keep him to the side so I can meditate and possibly he wants to give me some money, who knows. So Pisces, let's see. Oh wow, a simple page of wands. Ready with a new creative idea, Pisces. Sow that seed because something big can happen. Of course, you're going to see the culmination over the next 6 months till you have that Virgo season, and you've had 6 months and you have that full moon in Pisces, and then you see how this whole cycle has played out. So the page of wands could be a text, could be a fire sign person who's younger than you. But more than that, I think it is the living embodiment of a creative idea inside of you. You just need to figure out a way to express it. That's what Spirit wants me to tell you. The planets are exceptionally, psychic, this lunation. So you may call upon any of them. You may work with any of them. I am doing non-stop Dikshas on the 11th. Okay, that was the end of my reading. Thank you so much for being here. Now the thing is, I am doing a whole bunch of Dikshas on the 11th on Shivratri. If you want to get your Diksha, it's this time. However, you have to organize all the things, puja samagri and all. However, I'm going to end today with Uchishta Garpati mantra. Something that I've been doing, a mantra of Uchishta Garpati I never did before, and that is Om Reem Hasti Pisachini Likhe. Om Reem Gang Hasti Pisachini Likhe Swaha. This mantra calls upon a Pisachini. Pisachinis are feminine powerful energies, celestial spirits, like I've told you, Dakinis, Yoginis, Yakshinis, Pishachinis. So I'm also doing a special Garpati, Uchishta Garpati Shaktipat and Diksha on the 11th. So I have also been started working with Uchishta Garpati very closely. So you could chant this mantra if you so feel like on the 11th. Namo Shivaya, of course. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namo Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Shivaya Namaha, Shivaya Shivaya. There are four stages of this mantra. Actually, I want to do a separate video on it. You can use the beach mantras like Om Jum Sa, Om Jum Sa, Om Jum Sa. It's Shiva Beach. Or you can just read through the different names of Shiva. In fact, I did want to make all these videos of at least 108 different names of Shiva, and explain them, because I oftentimes meditate on them. So I just wanted to share all my meditation, but it's gone on for almost 1 hour 21 minutes, so it's been a long report. So thank everybody for being here. Don't forget to book your reading, and if you need any advice, I'm always there. And thanking all those people that supported me, a few of you especially I want to mention today. Somebody very, very far away from Switzerland. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for the wonderful gift. It meant a lot. Take care, bye, and speak soon.